Welcome, everybody. You ever feel like your life is just too complicated? There's too much family drama going on. You don't know who you love sexually and who you're related to. Sometimes it's both.
Welcome to the attic.
It's VC's Peasies.
Hello, dear listeners, singular. Here we are to talk about books and things. We are here to discuss book number 2 in the Cutler series, which is Secrets of the Morning, here on VC's Pieces podcast. I'm Katie.
I'm Tia, and just so you know, we're coming off the heels of a recording earlier, which you won't know until you listen to this.
You won't
2 weeks later.
You won't know. It's 2 weeks later for you, but it's 10 minutes later for us.
Yeah, it's like backwards time travel for you guys. Whoa. So,
you are here, and so are we. You may be asking yourself, I don't read books. What are we talking about? So, here comes Tia with the flap and back flap.
I'm going to flap your back from Secrets of the Morning. Shadowed by her tortured past, Dawn has a bright new life of glimmering hopes. Ellipses. Dawn can hardly believe she's a student at one of New York City's best music schools. Now her most precious wish to become a singer can come true. But Dawn still dreams about Jimmy, her strong, intense boyfriend.
Tense?
Strong, intense.
Intense.
Not tense.
Not that he's tense.
No. Strong, intense boyfriend. And the love and anguished secrets they share. Then Michael Sutton arrives, a new teacher at the school, a singing star, and the most wonderful-looking man Dawn has ever seen. Together, they create a world of feeling Dawn has never known. In his embrace, Dawn awakens to disturbing, unfamiliar desires. And Michael's promises offer a vision of music and romance forever, until he disappears. Dazed by his cruelty, Jesus. Alone with the bitter fruit of his betrayal. Jesus! Dawn becomes, once again, a victim of her grandmother's twisted schemes. Desolate, she clings to the tender hope that Jimmy will return and renew her with their deepest heart's dream.
So I'm not gonna spoiler alert.
But I'll say, that was some spoiler alerts.
Shut up.
Okay.
So,
fucking shut up.
we know what that seed is. What the fuck kind of back flap is that?
That back flap was...
Second of all,
very flappy.
I don't consider Jimmy intense. At this point, he's sorry, spoiler alert, we're ahead. He's kind of grown into like a staid young man.
Yeah, and he's always been like reasonable, like pretty even. And like unless he gets mad, but he's
every
like
so often.
But his brain goes like his brain can like figure out what things are doing, but he might have a temper, but he's like wise about things, it seems.
So falling in line with back flaps that are wildly inaccurate.
Yeah. Also, like, why are you giving away certain things in there that the reader should find out on their own?
Reader, ask yourself if you haven't read. There'll be a 3-second pause for you to jot down your theories and seal it in an envelope. Okay.
Please email your sealed envelope to vcspiecespodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. So we open. The prologue recap is new. Did you notice that?
Is it?
Yeah, because
I
think they didn't really do much about that in Dull and Blamer. Heaven does a little bit, but it's part of like the chapter. It was like a whole separate prologue that was like the story thus far.
I didn't know.
Which, yes, the other one was a story thus far. That was you. No. Dawn is going to summer sessions at New York singing school, and she's such a goddamn fucking yokel. She for real asks if Brooklyn is a state.
Yeah, she does. Also, you know, she got to Cutler's Cove when she was found out to not be Dong Longchamp, but Eugenia Cutler.
Longchamp.
She was like, no, I'm 14. Like, no, you just turned 15. Now, all of a sudden, she's 16 and a half. And she's been there for like a month.
Oh, you with their logic and your calendars.
I can't handle it.
No, you can't.
I can't fucking handle it.
Are we being gaslit? Are we being gaslit?
We are fucking gaslit. We're so gassed.
So, let's open. She's flying to New York. What? Yeah, so when we discuss this, I feel like all I can think about is she's like, this book goes into great detail, physical detail, also like a little extra about characters we see one time and then never again.
Yeah, Agnes?
No,
Oh.
we see Agnes many times.
Oh, no, sorry. I was thinking of the lady on the
The
plane.
plane.
Yeah, sorry.
So much
I forgot.
information about your plane neighbor.
The lady was right next to her on the plane, yeah.
A lot of detail.
So much information.
Who she was, where she was going, what she fucking looked like, what she sounded like. Peace out of there as soon as the plane landed. Within one page.
Yep.
Later on, we'll talk about that.
And then also she meets, like, a soldier
So many details.
who's, like, helping her find her
What
bags.
he looked like, his demeanor, the way he talked, and he was helpful. Bye. He's done.
It was so weird.
It was weird.
It was fucking weird.
She, Dawn Longchamp / Cutler,
Dawn Cutler at this
she
point.
has been shuffled off away from grandmother Cutler, has sent her off to singing school.
As a punishment?
I think that maybe grandmother Cutler's ultimate goal here is to just not have Dawn around.
Yeah, and it looks good.
But yeah,
to
preserve
like, yeah,
that,
it looks
like,
to
Cutler,
society like, ooh,
name, like, oh, we have a talent in the
we have a
family.
talent. She's going to a fancy place,
Yes,
but really
the
she's just
Sarah
a
Bernhardt School for the Schooling.
Sarah Bernhardt was a fucking babe too, by the way.
I did not Google this.
Oh, she was a babe. She was an actress from like the turn of the century.
So
last century.
There's a performing arts school, and there's housing related to the school run by Agnes.
Agnes Morris.
Agnes Norris. I am an actor.
Who's wearing rose and jasmine perfume.
She's basically a baddie lady who is just always enshawled.
Yeah.
She's 100, always enshawled. I love the description that her bedroom has like a fucking stage curtain.
Yeah.
So when she leaves her bedroom, she's on stage.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, that's fun.
She like whips, like as soon as Dawn gets there, she like whips out a letter from under her skirt that grandmother Cutler had written saying like, oh, Dawn keeps getting expelled from school. She keeps fucking these boys. She's such a shame. Super unnecessary bullshit. Like, this is the last hope. Like, did you really...
Was Agnes, did they
Lillian.
say that she was a friend of grandmother Cutler's? Or just like...
Luckily, or like conveniently, Lillian gives a lot of money to this school. She's a benefactor.
Okay.
That's what it is.
There's this undertone of the letter, and Dawn needs to know about the letter.
I fucking want to know, too. I was pissed for her.
Yeah. So there's a piano at the it's like a brownstone kind of townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
There's a piano there, and Dawn's fingers start to tingle at the sight of the piano.
She got like 2 lessons. I picture her playing like
Shitty chopsticks.
It's the only piano song anyone knows.
Yeah, she gets the tingle fingies at piano. There's that.
Kraken.
Yeah, crack it open. As soon as Agnes begins contradicting Dawn, and called grandmother Cutler distinguished, her hand looks like gnarled like a witch.
Yeah.
So as soon as we, the reader, are like, oh, she's an antagonist, she becomes physically ugly. There's also Mrs. Liddy, a friendly puddin'.
Yeah, friendly pud.
As we diverge these body types, she's friendly puddin'. So she's very like, what do you call it? Mrs. Garrett kind of girls, my girls from that show's name I forgot.
Annie?
Nope.
Mrs. Garrett.
What was that fucking show?
What are you talking about? Oh! Facts of Life!
Facts of Life.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, yes.
So she cooks and cleans. The
Delightful,
end. So
yeah.
I'm sorry we took that really long, upsetting time.
Facts of Life. Take the good, you take the
John is way too fucking upset about the way that Agnes perceives her.
I would be too. She just came from
I know,
like...
we're so different, you and I, dear listener. You and I, we're so different. You have feelings and I don't.
Well, it's just, like, she got... Remember, even though magically she's 16 and a half and not just turned 15, like, she just got... It's been like 2 months. She got ripped away... A month? It hasn't been that long. She got ripped away from this family.
Hold up. I feel like some weeks has elapsed from the time that she worked at Cutler's Cove to the time Emerson Peabody School let out.
No, but it wasn't that long. Like a month or two. It wasn't very long. She didn't turn 16, and it wasn't a year and a half, okay? It was not a year and a half. So, like, all this happens in such short... Like, it's like a financial quarter that all this stuff happens. She loses who she thinks is her mom, finds out who she thinks is her dad, kidnapped her, meets this new guy who's her dad, finds out he's not her dad.
Yeah, that's right.
Her freaking brother sexually assaults her. Yeah, like, her sister's a bitch, her mom's wafy, wispy nothing, and her grandmother's a fucking psycho cunt. Like, of course she's gonna be like, why can't I go here and start over? Like, because she was super positive about, I'm gonna go here, no one will know me, I'm not gonna get judged, it's gonna be about my talent.
Perhaps I've personalized this a bit. And then I was like, why does she have fucking tears burning under her eyelids as soon as Agnes is like, your grandmother said this and that about you. Like, don't give a shit about fucking Agnes Morris. Don't give a shit about Agnes Morris. She's inconsequential to your life. But it's also been
15/16
it's also been a hot second since I've been 15/16.
Yeah. 16 and a half. Fuck. How?
Dawn did not audition for the school.
Nope.
Statement, no follow-up.
Also, she didn't know that you had... Like, she was embarrassed as shit when she found out that you had to audition for the school.
She has an instant BFF in Trisha.
I love Trisha.
Yeah, no.
Trisha was
later
fucking
on,
awesome.
I have notes about Trisha.
Trisha's the best.
There's so it's I picture like a brownstone kind of Cosby style. Yeah.
It's
So
not
there's
Cosby stuff.
So there's Trisha is her roommate. There's also another young man there for summer sessions. What's his name?
Skinny.
Arthur.
Arthur.
But I know, yeah, Arthur.
Arthur Garwood.
He is noted as having, he made me think of wild mushrooms growing in damp, dark places in the forest.
What the fuck?
What the fuck description is that?
What?
He's mossy?
It's full of fungus? Maybe that was her way of saying he looked like a fun guy.
This is the book of, like, what the fuck does that mean metaphor?
Or, like, why did you choose that?
I have so many screenshots.
Yeah!
It's like,
I'm excited.
what? Yeah. In a VC kind of semi-trope, they have to get washed and dressed for dinner. And I notated that Dawn chooses a princess-shaped dress to wear for dinner, whatever the fuck that
What does that mean?
A princess or sweetheart neckline.
Yeah, I know what that is, yeah.
But it's the shape of a princess.
Like, is it a Halloween costume?
This
He's
is
like
so-
wearing like a bib with a princess on it.
Do you know where Niederman started? Because was it fucking this one?
No, halfway through Castile. I think with the...
So he's flying solo with Dawn.
Yeah. And I don't know whether or not there were like
ghosty writers. Extra.
No, if there were like no, it was just him. But I don't know if like there were still like tidbits plans that VC Andrews had at this point.
Because it almost sounds like what Virginia would write. Almost. What is a princess shaped like? I can't let this go.
Like a China doll, like a delicate doll.
Jimmy's in the army.
Yep,
he's an army man.
Army man with army plans.
And Arthur's moody. He's there for the bassoon or the clarinet or a reed instrument. Oboe, mabo.
He's there for the oboe.
He's very sad. He's so stringy. He's stringy and sad.
He writes
he's
moody poetry.
There's at some point he's like Dawn early on hears him sobbing in his room. Pretty sure he doesn't want to be interrupted, Dawn, because she's like, "Hello, are you okay? Just let him fucking cry."
She's concerned.
So she starts her summer sesh, and I would like to notate that the piano teacher is also unconventionally described. Because she starts diverging from the three body types. Lurch lady, pudding pile, delicate doll.
She's Madame Z. She's a Marishka Madame Z. Yeah, she's the Russian, the stony Russian.
She has no makeup, pale lips, age spots, bun, but highly regarded by the reader. Firm and strong. You know, more realistic. Trisha, too, I think, is described as having, like, she's not a perfection.
Yeah, but
not like Dawn.
She's a long dancer lady. Yeah, Trisha's a dancer. She's there for dance.
Okay, I'm a little shooketh now. Now that we have, like...
You got the old lady crone as well.
The crone.
Crone type.
Can I be crone?
Sure.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, you're not gnarled enough You
Not
need to be
gnarly.
gnarled.
I'm not gnarly enough.
You're too gnarly and not gnarled.
Okay.
Too gnarly and not enough gnarled.
Dawn is fucking giving it to Laura Sue via the telephone.
Yeah.
She's like, why can't you talk to me? You too many lies, ho?
Yeah. I love it. Dude, Dawn is a strong protagonist for the most part.
So are you fucking exhausted for making up fucking sicknesses? Love it.
She's like, oh, you might go on vacation? Aren't you sick? And she's like, oh yeah, my mystery allergy's clear. Like, just bullshit. Bullshit.
Gma Cutler refers to Dawn as a bad seed. Wrong series!
Oh.
Wrong fucking series.
Mm-hmm.
So Dawn is obsessed with the letter. Trisha is very energetic, this best friend. We haven't talked a lot about her. Trisha, the best friend.
Yeah, she's and meanwhile, there was, like, I think before the first night of like dinner in the house, Trisha takes a shower and she's like, you can take a shower on the other one, and she said, oh well, Agnes said that's the boys. She's like, oh well, like Arthur never takes a fucking shower. Like, just go in there, it'll be fine. So like, as she's about to get in the shower, Arthur walks in like whistling with a freaking towel over his shoulder, and like, he freaks out, she freaks out, but then she like flashes back to when she was about to get in the shower and Philip assaulted her.
A little bit more of a real depiction, and she has like, I felt actual shame. Mm-hmm. So this is like a little bit more in line with what we know.
Yeah, and so then Trisha notices that she was like feeling like something was going on. Very perceptive best friend. Love Trish. And Dawn just spills the tea about like how she was kidnapped, but all this stuff. If you want to know about it, please listen to episode 1 of Cutler series, which was yesterday. We don't know what it's going to be called yet. Last week. So
time is time.
But she says that a maintenance man tried to assault her, but didn't.
Like, oh no,
didn't do it.
Guy
though.
I didn't know.
Like, he almost did because she felt so guilty, which is very sad.
It's a little realness. Like, there's like the shame of incest, the shame of sexual assault. So, and then she's like, it was an accident. I don't know.
Then they go searching for and she's like, and I also just need to know what the fuck is going on. Like, that whole family sucks. Like, I don't know why Grandmother Cutler, blah, blah, blah. So
she's obsessed with the letter. She's like, I need to fucking know what she said. I would fucking know. And Trish is like, yeah, let's fucking steal that letter.
Yeah.
So they like sneak into Agnes's room, and also in the room, lurking. So Arthur, like, is just made of shadows, and he's like,
hallway. He was in the room.
No, he was in the room.
No, he's in the hallway.
He's in the room.
He's in the hallway.
Facing at you.
He's in the hallway. Cause
he's in the wall, they describe.
Yeah.
He's in the fucking wall.
In the hallway.
He, like, presses... He's made of shadows. He's pressed in the wall, and he watches them... Yeah. He's in the wall while they, like, go through Agnes's materials, and Grandmother Cutler's like, she's so gross, I hate her, Philip shows up for a surprise visit, and Dawn is like, you go fuck right off.
Yeah. She, like, flips out. Agnes is like, I thought you want to see each other. She's like, you fucking thought wrong.
Thought wrong, ho.
Ugh.
Dawn has little fantasies about her and Jimmy as adults. She do mention his warm, protective hands.
Nice.
So, as previously discussed about warm fingies, it's a gross idea to me. But I guess it's better than saying cold hands. His warm hands. All I imagine is like a sweaty event.
Like a humid paw.
A humid paw.
PAW, not like...
Not PA.
Yeah, not pockets.
So summer sessions are there, and Dawn is at first like, New York is crazy, and Trish is like, woo!
Yeah, she's like, it's a grid, you'll be fine. And then she's like, oh, actually, it was fine.
Let's go to the luncheonette.
Yeah, they're so cute going to diners and just like gushing and gossiping and gabbing, all the G things that girls do.
So that's the summer session, and it's cool. And Dawn is instantly the best piano player that teachers ever know.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I see something in you, even though you've had 2 lessons with
that guy,
a teacher at another school who like gave you 2 lessons. I'm gonna put my effort into you because you're the protagonist of this book that the reader is reading.
So then the school year starts, so other students have to come back. including the twins,
The Bedlock twins.
the Samantha and
Beneatha.
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 More like beneath ya. Hey.
Oh, she's 14.
Beneath Samantha and Beneatha.
Yeah, I don't. They call her Bethy, thank God, though. But like, why even?
What the fuck
I
name
don't know.
is this?
And they never fucking really talk about them.
They never talk about them.
Like they mention them like one time. It's stupid.
But however, they do go into great detail about her parents.
Yeah.
Did you note that? Because I was like, why the fuck? Why? And it was like, her face was small, and her freckles were freckles, and her nose was this, and her mouth was this, and she dressed like this, and she looked like this. A lot of that. So, highly detailed descriptions of students and their parents for no heckin' reason. And Dawn thinks to herself, we kids were like seeds on the wind. Like, wrong fucking series, you asshole!
Well,
Because she's like, who knows what parents we get and who's lucky to get a parent and not. So those twins, I think they were just establishing that there's more kiddos.
yeah, and the Huck Yucker, Donald Rossi.
I was kind of into Donald upon first impression as one who makes jokes when she gets uncomfortable and meets new people. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, Donald.
Also after after Dawn noped the fuck out when Philip visited, she did like come clean to Trisha about like, okay, the guy, remember I said it was a maintenance man who almost assaulted me? It was that fucker and he did. And she's just like, oh no, girl.
Oh, girl, you're in danger. Mm-hmm. Jimmy visits from Army and is grown-up man.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
Because it's just a couple weeks later. I'm just like, she's like, oh my God, he's 47 years old now. He's got a chiseled jawline.
So chiseled. Did he have broad shoulders or did he not? That's the hallmark of manliness.
Broad shoulders, narrow waist, supple thighs.
Trousered.
They go to a fancy fucking dinner. They eat dinner in a fancy restaurant. There is zero information about the decor, the food.
How am I supposed to picture this?
They usually talk about what food is like. I'm so mad. I was like, there's zero, like, you just ordered your meals? What was it? What was your protein? What were your courses?
How many sides?
Did you have dessert?
What did you sup?
And they didn't even really talk about what they talked about either. It was like, well, we're after dinner, but next scene.
And she was like, Dawn's sexual agency rears its head when she's like, I've never seen a hotel room before.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, you want to fucking go up? And she's like, yeah.
She was like, I want the tingles in my jingles.
But not quite the slammer and my whammer.
I'm not ready for whamming and slamming and jammers and bammers. Yeah. What's a hotel room? So she's like, damn girl, like sexually aggressive. But Jimmy picks the worst time to reminisce about being brother-sister.
Yeah, they make out for like a hot minute.
And he's like, remember when I saw you growing up as brother-sister?
And then it gets weird and they just like take a nap. Fuck. But I think that's a more like realistic.
Sure.
You know, like that it's not immediately going to be like.
And now we're not.
It's not going to be a Chris and Kathy fucking situation.
It's not going to be a switch it off.
Yeah, it's like a, hey, I have feelings. We knew from back then, like, they did always kind of have some feelings. But now they're like, okay, it's okay, but I'm not used to, like, not thinking that it's gross. They wake up at, what, like 2, 3 in the morning?
Yes, she overstays. Mm-hmm. What do you call it? Curfew.
Yep. Let's get 6 months punishment.
She's nice to Arthur. People are fucking mean to Arthur.
Yeah.
Because he's bad at the bassoon oboe.
Oboe. He hates playing it.
He hates playing the oboe.
Like, he doesn't think he's good. He's like, my fucking parents. Huh? Yeah. He's like, my parents like famous. Paid so much for me to be here, and they insist that I just have to practice. I'm not gonna fucking get good. And then Dawn hears him, and she's like, yeah, you're not that good. Like, so she is, which is nice.
So so she knows that, and Arthur's like, do you want to be buds? And she's like, we can be buds. And he noted Arthur's parents don't fuck.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's so important to them because they're famous instrumentalists that I be an instrumentalist. And if I'm not, it's going to be known that I'm adopted. And she's like, okay. And he's like, well, because they don't do what you need to do.
To have babies.
Babies. Yep. So, noted. They don't fuck. Statement.
Why?
No follow through.
Like, does he have queer parents? Right. Like, is that what it is? Like, are they ace? What is it? Did they just get married because... why?
Yeah. Thing. Noted that they don't fuck for no fucking reason.
Yeah. I was really like, I was like interested. Like, Like, okay, they're going to get closer and we're going to find out more about that. Because it seemed like he kind of knew why.
Yeah, I did.
Why didn't you tell us, Arthur Garwood?
Dawn is afraid of leading him on, but she honestly handles it pretty well.
I think so, too. Like, he writes her an emo poem.
Yeah, and she's like, hey, this is really cool, but I have a boyfriend and I don't feel this way. And he's like, no, it's fucking cool. And she knows that. She's like, it was really fucking awkward and difficult to talk to him. But like, I really felt like I needed to. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. She has dinner with her family and it sucks.
It's noted that Clara Sue has heavy breasts.
Oh, yeah.
And they go see the pajama game.
They do. Yeah, 1954. That's what I wrote. Yeah, I forgot about last time.
Yeah.
Also wrote Panama Game by accident. So it's 1954. Because that's when it was on Broadway. I totally forgot that this is like the only...
cultural reference.
Yeah, at least so far in like
pop culture
like the 2 1/4 books that we've read in this series. So yeah, 1954.
So there's that. Arthur runs away, and a famous opera star is slated to teach within the span of 5 pages.
Oh yeah,
It's done.
Michael Sutton.
So Arthur runs away, and everyone's like, "Dawn, you know shit," and she's like, "No, I know you don't fuck." And then that whole storyline just fucks right off.
Yeah, he sends her a letter and is just like, "I'm cool. I'm gonna lay low for a while. Bye. Thanks for being cool."
Yep.
Maybe he comes back in the 3rd book. I mean, probably fucking not. Yeah,
Probably fucking not.
but yeah, that is weird. There's been a lot more. There's been the most of that.
What, that, like, where you think a whole cool storyline's gonna go and then it just ends?
Yeah, or like
abruptly?
someone introduced isn't going to be part of the majority of the book. Like, that's not...
He's done. He does. I'm sorry, dear listener. He does not come back from this book. He's a pretty interesting character. Interesting backstory. He's given us far too much information for like a tertiary character.
Yeah.
Done.
And I do think that he was cool about... He like totally understood that like Dawn wasn't into him that way. And he didn't
He had
like...
his own struggles, and we were into those struggles.
He wasn't trying to get her to like think of him differently. He just accepted it. And he was like, yeah, got it.
No titty squozing.
Yeah, no, it's like freaky ass seduction nonsense. Yeah, I liked Arthur.
He's gone.
I was rooting for him.
Done.
I was rooting for him. I wanted her to like, he'd be like send her like a advanced copy of like one of his poem books or something.
Not in the book. Nope. Yeah.
So Michael Sutton.
He has the hallmarks of a V.C. Andrews M.A.N. He's got broad shoulders and a trim waist.
Yep.
Maybe don't forget the slacks.
Oh, I believe he was also tanned as well.
He was tanned. He's betrousered.
Tanned and betrousered.
Tanned and betrousered.
The only 2 things I need. You tanned and betrousered? I actually don't. I'd rather neither of those things.
Already. So, okay. All right. If you've seen Showgirls...
I instantly know what you mean. I'm so Oh, so like this?
No. So if you've seen Showgirls and you held on until the end bit, where that fucking, I don't remember the character's name, Andrew something, and he's the character, he's the pop star, and everyone is very excited, and he's got like long blonde hair, and he's like, that fucking guy, I'm losing the train here, but you know who I'm talking about. He is like the celebrity in the story, and thus Michael Sutton. And there's audition. He's only gonna host six students.
6.
To give private
Lessons plus 1 group like discussion per week.
plus
or
whatever.
bullshit, yeah.
Gives a shit. So everyone's gonna audition just to get close to this famous opera star, like the teens do.
You know, hold on. I have to go back on this where I was dying because I thought that you were like comparing like Dawn coming into this school without having to audition and everyone being like, oh my god, you've got the goods. Like fucking Nomi Malone was just like immediately.
Also, that is. Can we also? Ooh, is this a parallel Showgirls? No. Yes, it is. This is the It very much.
Wait, is Jimmy Kyle McLaughlin then? Who's Gina Gershon?
Hold on.
Yeah, could have cast this.
Let's see. Gina Gershon is... I guess I'm going to have...
Yeah, see? Love you.
Arthur Garwood.
No!
Because...
Her seamstress friend, I guess, could be Trisha. But...
Yeah, for real. I'm going to have to say, and you're going to... I'm afraid to say this. It's going to have to be Agnes. Because she's the old performer.
Yeah, this is where we're not...
She's the old hand performer.
Yeah, but...
Who's seen some shit.
She was also still hot as shit, though. Yeah. I like where you're trying to go here.
It falls apart.
We can't... There's no space to park this boat, though.
Great.
Keep on sailing by.
So during this audition, everyone auditions, and during this audition with Dawn, Michael already has lingering gazes.
So lingering. Like,
so did your eyeballs hurt the way that you just rolled them?
Yeah, it's also like... You listen to people sing like half of something and be like, no, thank you. Like, she fucked up her scales the first time she went to sing. He's like, that's okay, take a breath and just do it. Like, he's like giving her extra tries. If
Like,
you know what I mean.
we, the adult reader, are already repulsed at his gross molesteriness.
Yep.
And they already, as soon as the audition happens, he's like, let's have a coffee date.
Yeah, well, he sees her outside. He's like, you want to go for a cappuccino? And, like, she has no fucking clue what that is.
Because she's a yokel. So he's like, I know we're... So he is a famous opera singer man. And he's like, oh, we're supposed to be swept away by their romance. And he speaks softly and he goes as though he's going to, like, touch her face.
Almost.
And then, like...
He's grazing her with his hand eyes.
Right, so this whole coffee date...
Eye hands?
Hand eyes, eye hands, and there's, like, cappuccino. But let me tell you...
He's like, you look like a chocolate kind of girl.
What? That's right,
yeah.
cappuccino. I was like, she's very Caucasian.
Yeah.
She's not one of...
Very flaxen and cerulean.
Oh, boy. But as I'm reading this coffee date, there's a big, like, billboard behind my reading eye. Like, my eyes that goes, nope.
Doesn't he ask her about boyfriends and stuff, too?
Right? It's so fucking gross. It's so fucking gross.
He's like, oh, you ever fucking make out and diddle with some guys?
And he's like, it's important for me to be personal with my special students. AKA, like, boundaries aren't cool, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call me Michael.
Call me Michael. He also is like, hey, let's go to, like, a formal wine and cheese hoedown. It's very Euro. But you can't tell me.
It's so normal for, like, European teachers to take out their teenage...
I came from Europe, and, like, Americans are so, like...
There's no behind that time.
Come to my wine and cheese hoedown.
It's at, like, the MoMA. It's at MoMA.
The Met, whatever.
Museum of Modern Art.
I think it's very Euro. She, there's a break at one point where I think I wrote down, Dawn is constantly needling her mother, and it's great. Is her mental illness real, or is it an act?
Laura Sue?
Laura Sue.
I think she's just like Jillian. She just can't be fucking bothered. She just wants to be pretty, and anytime you mention something that's, like, real, they're just like, oh, I'm wilting because why do you have to ruin everything with such unpleasant... Everything's unpleasant.
Yes.
If something's unpleasant, she needs to see a doctor.
So basically, Michael was like, come see this fucking singer, man. It's cool. And she's like, okay.
She's like, I'll fucking dress up, all right. And Agnes, like, she's supposed to also still be grounded or whatever. And Agnes is like, oh, shit, you're going to go mingle?
This is an
Hell yeah.
It's an assignment.
Yeah.
It's very Euro/metropolitan. But she's, like, super disillusioned. It's, like, not like it was a date, but it's definitely not a date. And Michael had a red.
Well, also, she gets there and he's fucking nowhere. And she does not know what to do, who to talk to.
Fair.
Like, she's just, like, wandering around this poor little 14/16.5-year-old girl.
Delicate doll.
And
sexy plunging neckline.
She finally sees him come in with a woman who has flaming red hair. And they sit in reserved front seats with no free ones around them. Because she's like, oh, maybe I'll go take a seat and then I can go sit with them. And she's like, there's no fucking seats up there. Like, what the... Billboard. Nope.
So, this is where I have a couple screenshots of these fucking bizarre metaphors.
I'm ready.
So it says, the thing she said about my real father's evil nature lingered, quote, in the closets of my mind. That one stuck with me. And that the dead leaves scuttled the lawns like brown dried up ducklings.
Yeah, what the fuck? Who's drying up ducklings?
Thank you! I knew you meant the leaves were dried up. I'm picturing little duck corpses.
That's horrible. Like, they just got dried in like a jerky sort of machine.
So Dawn has to undergo very Euro breath training. It grazes the underboob. It grazes the underboob.
Sorry, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I had more stuff about Momo, that's all.
Oh, great, do it.
So after the show, she finally gets to him, and he's like in a throng of admirers, and he was just like, isn't this so dope? Let's talk about it at school. And then she like leaves her alone. And she's like wandering around like just sipping wine. She thinks everyone's laughing at her. And then she runs out of there, and then she like almost gets accosted by a bum. She's running, and then she's like, fuck, I stole this wine glass. The police are gonna arrest me. And then she gets home, and Trish is like, calm the fuck down. You're okay. You're okay.
Trish is like, fucking chill.
You're okay. Yeah. Then breathing.
So
breathing
then,
tits.
titty breathing. He's like, oh, let's breathe. Let's take some deep breaths. And he like is like grabbing her diaphragm and grazing her underboob. And he's like, shh, this is very Euro. Shut the fuck up.
He's like, this is techniques that everyone uses.
I'm
professional.
sorry. If you have an instructor that's telling you like, don't tell anyone about this.
Tell someone about it.
Tell someone about this.
Tell someone about it.
Tell someone about it. They're grazing your underboob. He definitely grazes her underboob.
And she's like, oh my god, my technique's getting so much better. This is underboob diaphragm support. God damn.
Then they decide to sing together at So he's singing.
He just starts a song out of nowhere.
From the show, the stage show.
The show. A show. Just a show.
So she joins in at the late.
Well, he's like, he nods to like the music on the piano, being like, go pick that up. And she's like, and I shook my head no at him because I already knew it. And I saw surprise in his eyes that he was like, oh my god, you knew it too.
But when these are like adult actors in the show, what do they do at that?
There's a kiss at the end. And she knew there was a kiss at the end, but like, there's no way her teacher's going to kiss her, right? There's no way her teacher's going to kiss her, right? Right, Katie? Katie, there's no way her teacher's going to kiss her.
No, he do. Yeah, no, he do.
Yeah. Because the song called for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's like,
he was like, I thought I was on stage for a minute.
He was like, I had to because you're such a good singer.
He's like, yeah, I couldn't not. It would be disrespectful to the song.
Oh my god. He's like, do you want to come to my house? And quote, the administration wouldn't approve of me inviting you to my apartment. You don't fucking say.
Yeah.
See?
He's trying to say like, oh, I want you to come mingle with all these like
famous, people.
Come schmooze. Come schmooze. It's really great.
Trisha.
Your vibes are amazing.
This is a good learning experience for you to hobnob. Trisha is like, hey, maybe you should not the fuck go to this grown man's apartment. Because Dawn needs to talk about it, but she can't say it's Michael, so she invents a character, Alan. A grown man, Alan. Grown man, Alan invites me to his apartment.
He approached me at the diner because I look like his dead wife. And she's like, I never fucking saw this guy. She's like, no, he's like literally lurking like under the table the entire time.
All the time.
And he talked to me when I was alone.
She gets dressed.
He's like 47. He's a doctor.
Again, another pleated skirt. She goes to his apartment, and Michael's like, look, I shouldn't offer you a cocktail, but how's about a wine?
Yeah, and she's like, where are your other guests? I thought this was a party.
He's like, they must be late.
They must be fucking late.
He describes her much like Kathy, sometimes so innocent and sometimes fully aware of her female power. Oh, I got some dry heaves over there. Michael is very glad that she has no boyfriend history. He's like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be such a more pure singer.
There's a lot of then there's teacher smoochers, and he becomes Professor Honkatitty. I'm Professor Honkatitty.
That's what was on his plaque on his desk.
Honka. I wrote it down. Honka Titty. Honka.
Yeah, Honka
Titty. Honka Titty.
Hello, my name. Honka is short for Honkathin.
Honkathin Tatachulus. Honkathin Tatachulus. That's my full birth name, but you can call me Honka Titty. It's weird and not at all suspicious that these guests, who definitely exist, never fucking arrive.
You know,
The bed was turned down.
they may have knocked, but they
Well,
wouldn't.
he was doing a
because he was
honky-tonk.
like, you know what? If they're the ones who showed up late, and she's like, that makes sense.
The bed's turned down.
Yeah.
Ready for yearnings. Again, with the spurting of the hot juices. That's all cum. All cum is described as hot juices.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me say it again. All cum. All cum is described as hot juices.
Dear listener, this is a special announcement. All cum is described as hot juices. P.S. This is for mature audiences only.
After the fuckins.
Which apparently she was wild for it, and I was like, okay. She was like, oh, he brought me to the top, so I was just like basically begging him to slam the banger into my whammer. Yeah. But she doesn't fucking think of Jimmy once. Like, there's no like, oh, I thought like, man, Jimmy's off in the army. She doesn't think of Jimmy at all. Like, not even like a fleeting like, ooh.
Poor Jim Jam.
Poor Jim Jam.
After the fuckins, Michael is like, fucking yeah, high five, wasn't that awesome? And Don's like, shrug emoji. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was like wicked high five, Monster Energy drink vibe.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I always need to eat after I make love. Come watch me eat a sandwich. So you want anything? Just like walking around with his lap hog out.
Do be like that. He is wine drunk and like listening to his own love ballads.
He's listening to himself.
And the teenager he's grooming is in like a see-through nightie. Oh, this is later. Then they have to take vows. He makes her take vows.
Oh yeah, this was like.
Sorry.
This
That was
a
my
little bit
next
late.
note. Was Michael's wine drunk?
No, she comes home and like Trisha was like, "How was the time with Alan?" And she calls him like Alvin by accident. She's like, "Oh, he has a brother named Alvin." And that's when she's like, "Oh, it was really good. Like we just like talked and like
lot.
and like he showed me a picture and I really do look like his dead wife. I'm actually her size. He made me try some of her clothes. Why are you doing this? He made me try some of her clothes and said that I should keep them, but I just couldn't. Why?
So many extra details.
Why are you doing this? Like, also, what a fucking creepy ass. That's a terrible excuse.
This person that doesn't exist is very creepy.
Yeah, like, oh, you look like my dead wife. Put on her clothes. What?
That was the less creepy side of it.
You know what it was? It was the man she met was Tony Tattert. I would love if she's like made up a guy named Tony instead of Alan.
I'm believing you.
And that was it. I'm fucking
So at some point she goes back to Michael's, and this is at some point he's wine drunk, listening to his own love ballads, and the teenager he's grooming is in a see-through nightie, and he's like, "Let's take our vows."
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get the part where they take their vows? And he's like, "I vow to always be with you.
Be your stage
thing.
star, like
Be your
until the final curtain call or some shit."
And Trisha comes with like the sense, and she was like, "Hey, that sounds fucking weird. Vows? Did you say vows? Because that sounds fucking weird."
Yeah. Poor Trisha. And she's like, I wish I could tell Trisha. And I'm like, I wish you could fucking did tell Trisha. Because Trisha's like, I don't, But you say he's like older. Like, are you, I feel like you're boning this dude. Like, are you fucking paying attention to your,
There's a point. Is this the point where she has a big old lie to spend like Thanksgiving break?
Yeah, right around there. She asked Trisha.
So she do that.
Well, it's really sad because Trisha's like, come home with me.
And she's like, "Can I use this as a..."
And she's like, about that. Can we pretend like I'm coming home with you, but instead
I'm gonna be with
Alan.
/ Michael.
They have like a 5-day Thanksgiving weekend.
So they do a Thanksgiving.
Apparently she can cook even though they never had food at her house.
Never.
She's making
She
pies
knows
from
about-
scratch
she knows
and
about
shit.
Spices because she had to spice up the grits and black-eyed peas. So she knows about spices.
And somehow how to make
a fully fucking pie dough.
a fully fucking pie dough. She's making pies from... No, she fucking wasn't making
you
pies from
fucking
scratch.
weren't.
All it was black-eyed peas and grits. Every once in a while, perhaps a wisp of bacon.
A whisper of bacon. So that's fine for like a couple days, and they have like an idyllic time, and there's a Christmas tree. But then Michael is like obviously like bouncing out to be with someone else.
Something. Like they were humping all day long.
Doing a hump.
Doing all the Humpty Hump. And then he says he's got to go meet with these like Broadway producers
I gotta go see the producers.
who are setting up a new
And
show.
there's like a very fucking obviously fucking sketch about it.
Yeah, so sketch. And she's like, oh, so you want me back for dinner? And he's like, no, I'm not bringing you back. She's like, that's fine, I'll have the leftovers. And she's like talking about it was great. And then he like stumbles in the middle of the fucking night. So drunk. Like Hamtown.
covered in lipstick and red hair, and Dawn the child believes any of his excuses.
And then she was like, oh, you're home. And he was like, home? Oh, yeah, home. And I was like, what you think you are. And then he's like, I can get you on fucking Broadway. It's great.
Yeah,
it's really good meetings.
They go out to dinner, and she has the deepened cleavage and an uplifted bosom, and he's gonna get her in a part in Broadway. Sure.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
They mentioned this a few times, like, the blush of a cleavage. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what is the...
I think it's like hearkening to this idea of like femininity and being like embarrassed about sexy times and like if you blush in the face, some people.
No, I thought that it seemed like there was like I don't know. I'm just assuming like Niederman has not humped a boob.
Never flushing.
Yeah, it's also never like has a rosy glow. I don't fuck. What is that?
So okay, sure, Michael's gonna get as soon as he's like, I'll get you a fucking part on Broadway. Like, oh man, like.
Like you keep making it worse.
Yeah, as far open as this horrible like situation is, like, oh my goodness.
And they went like, of course they go out to dinner and like they sit in the back of a restaurant like in fucking New Jersey or some shit. Like he's like, don't worry, I know this place where it's lit by one candle in a corner.
Good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
We're gonna go have Italian food in the dark.
I have another
down in front
metaphor that I highlighted after
Love it.
that was Mrs. Liddy had prepared dinner. Agnes Agnes had on, quote, a string of pearls around her neck that would choke a horse. Oh God! Any strand of pearls that a human would wear would choke a horse.
Like,
is the horse eating the pearls? What the fuck does that
pearls
mean?
being ingested? Is the horse doing some like autoerotic
asphyxiation?
Also, with his like pearls the size of softballs, like what is going on?
Is so
Is it a pearl bridle? A pearl bit? Like, what is going on?
So that happened.
It's a gag pearl.
The end.
Of a ball,
Dawn has like a
gag?
sickness. She's sick in the morning time.
Oh, I wonder what happened.
Call me sickness in the morning,
baby?
have a baby in my uterus.
So
it's some type of sickness in the morning. We don't know.
Yeah, she's totally preggo though. She's like, oh, I looked at my nipples and they were wicked dack.
She goes to the library and self-diagnoses her pregnancy due to her titty status.
Yep.
She was like, they're veiny and nipply.
She was like, oh, I thought I was just filling out, but I guess I was getting filled up. And Trisha's like, what the fuck is going on?
So she tells Michael, and Michael's like, oh, the best for my wife.
Yeah.
And she's like, my wife. And she goes off the fucking deep end.
Yeah, he's like, his first thing is like, are you sure? Girls always think they're pregnant. Like,
fuck, says Michael fucked.
I don't, yeah, seriously. Every fuck. And then he's like, it's like, cool. Like, it's awesome. We just gotta wait for the semester to end. You're gonna come with her to Florida, have that baby. We'll get you auditioning the second you can. Nope. And then, like, meanwhile, Agnes is losing it. She's like talking to herself and being extra dramatic and like picking clothes for the conversation. So like if it's like a somber conversation, she like gets into like funeral mode. It kind of happened after Arthur like
peaced out because she's like, oh fuck, I never lost one.
Yeah, she's like, I lost a fucking kid.
Trisha comes with the realness, and she was like, because Dawn goes off the fucking deep end, and Trisha comes with the realness, and she's like, you're fucking going off the deep end. She's the voice of reality, and Dawn is like, no, it's fucking cool. We're gonna do so many good things. And Trisha is like, I don't think I'm gonna have kids till I'm fucking 40.
Yeah.
I'm being a dancer. And she's like, well, what about your husband? And I wrote this down. It says, Trisha says, any man who doesn't understand my career desires isn't worth marrying.
Fucking love Trisha. Trisha's one of the best characters.
Yeah.
Like, we have a strong lady character who's not into any fucking bullshit.
Or drama.
Finally.
No, she's pregnant because she eats Jell-O and cornflakes.
Jell-O and cornflakes. She's got to wear a fucking girdle unless she's in bed. Like, apparently in V.C. Andrews' books, again, Niederman does not know about ladies, but he did not check out that same library book because she's like, I had to start wearing a girdle at 2 months. No, you fucking didn't. No, you did not. You did not. And then one day, Trisha comes home from school and she's like, oh shit, are you upset?
Yeah.
And Dawn's like, why? And she's like, because of Michael Sutterman. She's like, what the fuck am I about? What are we talking about Michael Sutterman? 'Cause at this point, she still thinks it's mysterious fake Alan. And turns out Michael just fucking Irish goodbye to London.
Peaced out.
He like left a note on the door.
It's like, hey, I gotta go. John goes banana pants.
Yeah, and it tells Trisha finally, she's like, there is no Alan, it was Michael. And she was like, the fuck didn't you tell me? I would have made sure you didn't go with that
Trisha,
dick.
Like tries to be clutch. She's like, all right, let's figure this out. She's like, no, it's great. He's gonna meet me. He's gonna meet me.
And she's like, you didn't.
I know he's gonna.
He didn't leave you a note or anything. He didn't call. And she was like, well, he couldn't have called. He's just expecting me to show up. Bye. And she's like, please don't fucking go. It's snowing. Like,
yeah, it's a mysterious snowstorm.
Don't go. Always a mysterious weather.
So yeah, so she leaves. So she goes and is like, it's a fucking snowstorm. Taxi. And Trisha's like, hey, I don't think you're thinking this through, but like, I'll be there for you. Whatever, we can figure it out together. And she's like, no, he's waiting, and I know he's waiting. We didn't talk about this, but he's 100. Waiting in some capacity.
Tell Agnes that I've eloped and I've ran off with the love of my life. Bye.
So she goes to Michael's apartment and what?
This fucking dude is like,
he's
hello?
like, hey, it's my apartment. He's subletted. And because she's like, his things are here. And he's like, these are fucking my
These are
things.
my things.
And she's like, but my presents. And he's like, these are fucking empty boxes.
That was, first of all, how did he know? But second of all, how did she not pick up one There was one day, like, during the Thanksgiving break that Michael came home with all these, like, extravagantly wrapped gifts. And he's just like, this is all for you. Why did it? That was before he even got her knocked up. Why even go for it?
Did you notice that this guy, more than one time, was like, no. Like, he actually, I drove him to the airport. Do you want the forwarding address?
Yeah.
And she was like,
no, get to the airport. It's fine. And he's like, no, he's already gone.
You need to write him a letter.
Hey, if you need to contact him, he's like, I'm also trying to get into the fucking shower. Can I just give you his forwarding address, you weird child?
You strange pregnant child.
Strange pregnant child.
So she, yeah. So she leaves without the forwarding address, the idiot.
Yep, and she's just like crying and wandering through a snowstorm in New York.
Snowstorm. And she's like, I heard Michael singing, and she's just belting out songs. It's like this call and response in her mind.
Yeah.
Corner to corner to
Yeah, she's like, I got to the corner, but realized he must have been on the other corner. Babe. And then she gets fucking beamed by a car. She got beamed by a car.
Coma.
Into a 4-day coma.
And you can get
Which, like, barely brushed her. It brushed her barely, but she whacked her head or some shit.
She was barely, there was a bruise on her thigh, but she was in a coma for 4 days.
Yeah, and she's fine.
She's fine. It's good. Everything's good. And the doctor's like, you're fucking pregnant. And she's like, I know I'm pregnant.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that must be why your family was confused. And she was like, ah. Because he was like, yeah, usually babies just, like, turn into, like, a scrambled egg in there if you fall down.
Yeah.
And, but
she's in.
But yours is fine. And Trisha had come to see her every day. They get to talk. And then fucking Grandmother Cutler just fucking skulks in. And she's like, I knew you'd be a fucking disgrace, you piece of shit. Yeah. And then she's like, I'm shipping you off to Virginia to live with my sisters, Emily and Charlotte, until you have this fucking bastard baby.
So Dawn is like giving it. She's like giving it. And I'm into it. Like, they're just like, so Dawn is doing a glare, and Graham Cutler's doing a glare.
Graham Cutler.
And she's like, hide your fucking shame. And, you know, she's like, who is my father? And Dawn's like, why the fuck do you care?
Yeah.
Why don't you get a dickhole?
Fair question.
Fair.
She's like, I bet you don't even know. And she's like, I fucking know. Get out of here.
I fucking
know.
Yeah. So she's like, I need fucking dignity, and, your mother,
Your mother's a whore, you're a whore. Everyone's fucking whores.
So basically, Dawn just, like, gives it back to her, and I'm into it.
Yeah, and she calls to say goodbye to Trisha, because the next day she realizes that
I'm getting shipped out.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm not going to be able to call her. Also, there's another thing where, like, she has magazines that she lends to the nurses.
Who?
Dawn. Like, I think there's another, like, the nurses, like, I had a couple magazines that Trisha brought, and the nurses borrowed them.
Is this going to go on our bingo card?
Yeah.
Magazine lending.
So she calls Agnes's house to say goodbye to Trisha, and Agnes is fucking crazy, and she's like, no, I cannot be part of your play, maybe another time, and just hangs up. And so she leaves a note for Trisha being like, I guess I'm going to the place called the Meadows.
So she gets flown out to the meadows.
She's hanging out at the airport for like 2 hours, falling asleep or some shit.
Luther picks her up, and he's a hairy, stinky treat.
Yep. He just comes in, he's like, "You the girl."
I was with the fucking hogs. Get in.
And there's like no seat in this truck. There's just springs.
She's like sitting on like a bucket.
He's like just throws down a blanket. And apparently the window doesn't roll down and she's about to barf her face off because
And he's like, oh,
just
they didn't
stinks
tell
like...
about your aunts? You'll find out. What does that mean?
Oh, what does it mean?
We do
find out.
We do see people of color at this point. Did you note them? They're poor and playing in front of dilapidated buildings.
Yep. I don't even note that stuff because I don't...
It's upsetting to you.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it more because they talked about it.
I'm noting it now in the hopes that at some point we have maybe like a positive depiction of people of color. You know, so we'll look back on this with a kind of, oh, that was so cool.
Without a fucking black scent or a magicalness to it.
Yeah. Ugh. So they go to the meadows and there are arrogant chickens. It's noted that they're arrogant. Miss Emily is a lurch lady.
Oh my god.
Charlotte is an intellectual disability puddin'.
Yeah, Emily refers to Charlotte as an idiot. She's like, she's an idiot.
Yep.
It's a rundown shitty plantation.
It's a plantation, if I can say that.
You can, because that's
A
literally
plantation.
it's a style of house and like grounds. But it was yes.
But with the slavery.
Yes, but it was.
It was with the slavery in the times of that time.
They don't
the times of the time, who knows? We don't know.
They don't use electricity or heat.
What the fuck?
I don't know, Miss
You
Emily.
get one kerosene lamp. The end.
Yeah, with the fuel that has to last you a week. Like it's fucking stupid as shit.
She gets a what's her fucking face? Dawn gets a
exam.
A wiry, full-fingered body exam. A fucking full-fingered exam.
Yep, stripped down.
Man,
And then she's like, "Where's my shit? Like you said, my shit was supposed to get shipped here." And she's like, "What? Oh, me. Is that what you're about?" And she's like, "Why, you bitch?
You're a sinner." You know, Charlotte over here is an idiot because she was born out of wedlock. Your baby's born out of wedlock, so I guess it's going to be a fucking moron.
Yep.
Like Charlotte over there is. Dawn has to wash up in like the bathroom from Saw.
Yeah. It's just like brown water. Ugh. Every door in this place sticks.
It's humid. So whatever. She goes to the bed and sleeps.
And has to sleep like curled around like a hot water bottle. She's got one scratchy blanket.
And then Miss Emily's like, "There's another blanket if you fucking need it. You fucking."
And it's just like disgusting and full of dust. Also, she gives her like basically like a gray sack to wear because she's like, "I'll take your things. They need to be purified."
We'll get there. Daylight is not Miss Emily's friend. You can see her mustache. Shout out to OG Bart. It's noted she has a fucking mustache.
Aww. Well, Charlotte wakes up Dawn the next day because she's like, "Oh, sleepyhead," and she's like, "Did you hear a baby in the night?"
Oh, Miss Charlotte.
Little
Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte. And Dawn's like, "Oh, that's fine."
So they have breakfast, which is oatmeal with vinegar, the tastemaker.
Yep. Because she puts apparently Miss Emily puts vinegar in all of her food. She makes Dawn call her Miss Emily. Put vinegar in all of her food to remind us of the bitterness we must endure for the sins of our fathers. Wonderful. Another old lady obsessed with sin and the devil. Perfect trope.
Dawn has chores. She's like, wash every pot, even if we don't use it, and have fun.
Yeah, fucking heaven level chores.
Heaven level. I don't like dust. And Dawn's like, this obviously hasn't been done in a fucking ever.
In many years. Because she thought that she was just gonna go like relax.
Have a baby.
She also finds out when she's there, like Miss Emily's like, "No, you don't need to see a doctor. I was a midwife.
I'm a midwife.
It's fucking
of
fine."
Some type. So wash every pot, because why not?
She gets a whole apple for lunch too.
She gets a whole apple.
A whole apple.
She finds a legit cauldron of her clothes.
Yeah. She goes, "It's a fucking there's
a cauldron outside.
Yeah.
Over like her comb. So many times. P.S. Her hair's not looking good.
Oh my god.
You know she's in a bad
She doesn't
spot.
have a comb. She doesn't have a brush. No mirror, really. Most of the time. It's bad. And also, she's not allowed to go into the West Wing or something. She's not allowed to go to the other half of the house. Yeah, she can't watch West Wing. Miss Emily's like, Martin Sheen.
So she's like, what the fuck? You're boiling my clothes. And Miss Emily's like, yeah, it's part of the process. They then have to be buried. So the earth can absorb the taint of evil.
The fuck?
Okay.
What the fuck?
And then Dawn's like, what the? And she gives it back to Miss Emily, kind of on the rag, and is like, people have soap.
Yeah. Because it's just like a lard
good.
ball.
And she was like, yeah, soap that smells good for your vanity.
And she's like, we don't go to church. People get dressed up to go to church. Imagine that. Makeup for God.
So I thought this was interesting. Dawn notes that the devil has already defeated Miss Emily because she has no happiness in anything. And I enjoyed that point of view.
It's good.
Sure, fair.
And she does have a couple more secret conversations with Charlotte, who everything happens yesterday. She's like, it happened yesterday.
Tomorrow, yesterday,
Yep.
Sunday.
But she does talk more about having a baby. She totally did. And Dawn tries to send a letter to Trisha. She finally asks Luther to bring it.
And he's like, I'm not going to do anything.
And he's like, fine,
what?
maybe.
She's like, what if I left this letter here and you picked it up?
And then weeks went by and he was like, and she was like, did you send that letter? And he's like, what letter? What letter?
Yeah. He's like, I was gonna, but it was gone.
And then she went to Miss Emily and she's like, what the fuck? And she's like, anything that's on the counter is trash.
I thought it was trash.
Everything was trash. So Dawn's like, fuck this. I am going to find
Hold
that
up.
one country store with the mailbox in it.
I got a couple things. So,
yeah.
Miss Emily is the only one who gets clean water.
When they bathe in the cauldron, basically. Yeah.
Bathe in the cauldron. Miss Emily bathes first because she's the most pure. She's the only one who gets clean water.
Ugh.
Which
Yep.
I enjoy.
And then Charlotte, and then Dawn.
They have it out. I think we're here at the having it out. And Miss Emily says that Dawn committed the common crime of lust. But I want you to know that when I noted it, it autofilled and I left it. And it said, the common crime of lunch.
Ooh. Guilty.
Charlotte is referenced at one point as the devil spawn with no follow-up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you caught that.
I noticed the devil spawn, yes.
No follow-up as to who, where, when, or why. Charlotte is referenced as the devil spawn.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to find out in book 3.
I mean, that... I feel like there's a lot of unanswered questions with Charlotte and Emily. P.S. S. What does Dawn think's going to happen to her after the baby's born?
She thinks she's going to get to leave and go back to... I don't know. She just wants to go. I don't even know.
Like...
Clearly no plan.
It's so fucking obvious to the reader that Emily is nefarious as all get out.
Yeah, she's grandmother Cutler's sister.
And like, what? I don't. What is she thinks gonna happen? You fuck. What? She drinks a tumbler full of castor oil.
Oh, that's Leda.
Oh, you got more?
Well, so Dawn's freaking out because she realizes that she couldn't get a letter to Trisha. She hasn't heard from anybody. She needs someone to know where she is and what's happening because she's just like getting starved and worked to death, basically. And so she writes, she like scribbles a new letter for Trisha. She like sticks it and like her blanket under her dress and it's just like, I'm going to the one country store that is, I don't know how far away, but I guess I'll find it.
Question mark miles.
So she goes out, immediately starts snowing, and then Dawn ends up doing a Maze Confused horse out in the snow trying to get to the general store. She falls, she keeps slipping and falling.
It's like spinning around. She doesn't know where she is, which direction she should go and where she should go. Or is she going back towards the house? Who knows?
She thinks, she's like, oh no, and then like Luther drives up with the truck.
Horse.
Yes, and then she realizes she was just at the end of the driveway running around in circles.
Like a goddamn chicken with its head cut.
Like a Maze Confused horse.
So Miss Emily's like, you're a fucking moron, get in the house.
Yep. She's like, you lost your boot, you don't get that back. Oh yeah, Dawn has no socks or underwear.
She has no underwear.
No socks, no underwear, just two gray sacks.
Can I have underwear? Like,
two gray sacks, that's
underwear,
it.
Your lacy underpants are sinful.
Ugh. So yeah, Miss Emily's like heaping on the chores as Dawn gets more swole with child. Swole. And then she starts cutting back food because she's like, you're getting fat. The fuck? Like, how do you cut back? Like, what does she give her? Like a half an apple?
Yeah.
Half an apple? Then
it's a tumbler full of castor oil. Two tumblers full. She's like, I think you're constipated. Drink 2 tumblers full of castor oil.
When's the last time a human's used castor oil for anything?
They do it in Iceland, I think.
Really? If you're an American person who's used castor oil in the past century and a half, please email us at vcspodcast@gmail.com.
If you live in Iceland and have castor oil on the rig, let us know what's up.
What does it taste like? Is it as bad as what people think?
So Dawn has heard about the baby. She goes to find the baby.
But castor oil.
Hold on. That's right. Yeah.
So Dawn's like, as soon as Miss Emily leaves, she's like, oh my God, my stomach, holy shit. So she tries to get in her bathroom, which the door always sticks, so she pulls on it, the knob comes off. She falls back and immediately shits herself. All over herself. She just shits there until she has to wait till she stops shitting, finally gets into the bathroom, shits some more, passes out on the bathroom floor. Miss Emily wakes her up and she's like, it's like the hogs are in here. And she's like, you gave me too much castor oil. She's like, how fucking dare you tell me? Were you a nurse?
How fucking dare you?
Yeah.
I feel like this shitting scene goes on for a while. She shits some in the toilet, some on herself, some on the floor. She just basically shits everywhere. She's a shit sprinkler.
Just the idea of like it's just described as like the knob comes off on her hands. She falls back and immediately when she lands, she just shits.
She is a shit sprinkler in the stall bathroom.
Wow.
So then she also decides to go find out because Charlotte is always like
mentioning baby. She's like, my baby had pointed ears. Is your baby gonna have pointed ears?
Oh my God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, fucking A, man, I'm gonna go find out about this goddamn baby. She goes into the West Wing.
Like skulking at like 3 a.m. or some shit. Yeah.
There, LOL is a nursery there, Sans baby.
Oh, but there's a baby in the crib, and Dawn's like, oh my God, haven't I heard it? And she's like, oh, it's because it's a doll.
Baby doll.
It's a doll.
She skulks around. She goes into like Mama Daddy Cutler's room and is like a museum. She keeps it on Miss Emily. Miss Emily sleeps with a light out, like a nightlight, nightlight. And then she creeps into like Charlotte's room and there's like a nursery off and there's like a baby doll and yada yada yada, like you fucking do. And then it's the fastest writing of labor ever.
Yeah, Miss Emily's like, what the fuck you doing in this room? And she catches her in there and Dawn runs out and then she's like worried that Miss Emily's chasing her shit. She like turns around, trips and falls, water breaks. Baby comes out feet first.
Yeah, what does that mean? Miss Emily done snatched that child.
Yep.
And
she takes her away to the nursery.
Yeah. She asks Charlotte about the nursery and Charlotte's like, well, you do the wiggles and you make a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It was Luther.
Do the wiggles, make a baby.
Luther did the wiggles on her. And then the baby was taken away.
So Miss Charlotte brings her milk with stuff in it.
Yeah, they said it was like a cereal milk.
I cannot believe that she drank the milk with stuff in it. How long have you lived at the Meadows? Maybe one day. We don't know. You drank the milk with the
She's now 23 years old.
Chunks in it. Have you learned nothing?
Milk honey cereal drink, yep.
Have you learned nothing?
And she's like, Charlotte, what happened to my baby? And she's just like, it was too small. Miss Emily said it was too small.
To live.
Just too small. Like, not even to live, just too small.
I feel like she said too small to live.
Really?
Again, I would like to circle back to this fucking mystery milk chunk drink.
100% sedative.
Yeah. And it's the flimsiest pretext of acceptable in Dawn's mind because she's like, well, Mama Longchamp had the home remedies.
Yep. She's like, oh, wow, this doesn't have vinegar in it, thank God.
You fucking moron. If you don't fucking know you're being pilled up and poisoned. If you don't know you're going to Pillboy's secret hot tub.
Hey! Broken hot tub, but sure.
Sure. If you are just...
Well, also, I don't know. Yeah. She was all, like, traumatized from childbirth and living there. Like, after she tried to run away, she described herself as having, like, no life or spark left in her. She was just fucking over it. Yeah.
Bust in. Jim Jam.
Yeah, so, like, so Dawn passes out after Charlotte gives her the drink. She's just like, I need to go. Whoa, fuck, shit. And then she wakes up and Emily's basically pouring it down her throat. So I don't know, she's asleep for a couple of days or something. And she asked Miss...
How much time has passed from baby birth to Jimmy?
I don't know. We don't have any idea.
I refuse to believe it's more than a day and or two.
Yeah, I think so. It's not long.
You need to eat shit.
Yeah, it's not that long.
All right.
And Miss Emily, she asked her about it, and she's like, oh, no, the baby was too small. Like, that's what happens. And then she was like, they took him away. Yeah, she was like, what the fuck?
When you've committed the common crime of lunch.
So, Dawn is like pulling herself up, very Annie-like, dragging herself like, I gotta fucking try to find my baby. My legs don't work no good.
Jimmy!
And she hears Jimmy at the door. And Miss Emily's like, no, she fucking left this morning.
How did Jimmy get there?
He found them.
Okay, right.
Well, because she said she was going to a place called the Meadows in Georgia to her note with Trisha. Like, Jimmy and Trisha had talked about how neither of them had heard from Dawn for a while.
Right.
So I guess it's like, I'm assuming like plantation names are like specific and you just have to kind of find out what fucking... I don't think it was easy for him, but he found them.
Right.
And then... Yeah, he comes busting in after, like, Miss Emily's shutting the door, and Dawn's like, holy crap, are you really here?
She screams so much she fall down the stairs almost.
Mm-hmm.
And,
So they have a rest in her closet room. Her room doesn't have a window, by the way.
Oh, FYI, sorry.
Yeah, so the first morning that she's there, she, like, doesn't wake up with the sun. And Miss Emily's like, are you going to sleep all day? She's like, I didn't know it was morning and I don't have a fucking window.
Jimmy, take her away,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got some modern wisdoms about Dawn being taken advantage of.
Yeah, I loved it.
He's like, look, you were really impressionable. He was definitely good at this, and he's obviously done it many times before.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I forgot to mention when Michael Cutler pieced out, when he Irish goodbye to London. Sutton, right, sorry. Michael Sutton pieced out. Before Dawn confided in Trisha that he was baby daddy, Trisha was like, people are really upset. I guess there was this girl that he promised a Broadway audition to.
That's right. That seems to be his thing that he does.
Yeah, like how many people was he? Anyways.
Yeah, so it was very much the anti-Logan Stonewall, if I can say that.
Yeah.
He was like, look, Michael Sutton has obviously done this before. You were taken advantage of, and you didn't know any better.
Yeah, like you, of course you were like, had starry eyes for your new life, and like, you got overwhelmed. He's like, there are people that I was with in the army who did bullshit stuff like that. They weren't my friends. I've seen it happen. It totally makes sense. You were on your own. Things were confusing. I'm just like, it was so nice.
There's a lot of talk about needing, like, brushes, combs, and lipsticks.
Yeah, they finally get Miss Emily to, like, admit that Grandmother Cutler had arranged for the baby to be taken away right after birth, too. Like, Jimmy, like, is, like, in front of her. Like, she finally gets a spook, because Jimmy's just like, I'm gonna fucking call the police. And she's like, oh, all right, fine. All right, fine, I don't fucking know, but this is what happened. They're like, all right, we're going back to Cutler's Cove, and we're gonna...
We need combs and brushes.
We need to... Yeah.
They drive for, like, 2 days straight and take a stop off at, like, a trucker motel and
Yeah, he gets her
pound a trucker breakfast.
Yeah, clothes and makeup and such. They stay in a motel. Yeah, she gets to eat a shit ton of food. She's just like, oh my god, turkey dinner. She's like crying over it, eating pie, and just like, I was living for that.
She has to get back Christy, which has a name I don't know about.
She originally was going to call her Sally Jean after her mom had a long tongue.
Christy with an I-E.
Yeah, with a C-H.
Christy.
C-H and I-E. Sorry if there's any sorry if you, dear listeners' name is Christy.
With a C-H and an I-E.
But
we obviously have feelings about it.
It was just a weird mood.
Is it not?
Yeah.
It's true.
Because she was just like, I liked the name. Like, it was just, again, like something just kind of fluffed out out of nowhere.
Passing by the VC trope of naming someone after something.
Yeah.
Jordan.
This came out of fucking nowhere.
Julian, the second, but
Jordan Dash Jeans.
Yeah. So Grandma C has a stroke, and Randolph is big useless.
Yeah. So they get, like they get back to Cutler. They get back to Cutler's Cove, and they're like, the fuck is this bitch? And they're like, oh my god. They're like, why aren't there any guests here? Like, oh, Grandma Cutler like just had a fucking stroke.
She just fucking died.
And everyone left. And so they go to the hospital. Because she's like, what the fuck did you do with my baby?
And she's like, I'm fucking dying.
She's just like stroked out, and she just says...
Of course she fucking dies before she gives any information.
Well, she tells Dawn that she's her curse. She calls Dawn, she's like, you're my curse. She's like, what the fuck does that mean? And she's flatlined. Done.
Yep.
And then immediately Laura Sue is pumped. She's like up, primping and priming, and like, isn't it a beautiful day? Like, she just psyched to be... Like, apparently she was fucking Grandpa Joeing it until the chocolate factory ticket came, which was Grandma Cutler dying.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Fair point that Dawn makes. She was like, why is the staff so sad when Grandma Cutler was such a fucking rank bitch?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Apparently she was... Well, they keep talking about how, like, she was a different person with, like, staff. and guests and stuff for whatever reason. Randolph is fucking crushed. He cannot. He's a lost boy.
We've known from before this book that he's useless as shit.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know what the fuck to do.
She makes Randolph call the lawyer, Mr. Updike.
Who?
Dawn makes Randolph call the
that's
lawyer.
right.
And she's like, "Give me on the fucking phone.
Well,
Give me
Jimmy's
the phone."
like, "We gotta fucking search your office."
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
fuck
and-
yeah, search that office.
And Randall was in there on the Aqua Shins Shelong or something.
Shelong.
And she's like, come on. He's like, yeah, we should, like, not really listening to her, but being like, yeah, we should make arrangements. Call her lawyer. And then she's like, give me the fucking phone. And she's like, hi. And he's like, oh, yeah, you gotta
Adoption
be at the
right?
will reading. And she's like, yeah, do you know what happened to my baby? And he's like,
Oh, did you not consent?
Oh, shit. What do you mean? Like, that's not... But she said, and she's like, no. And he's like, all right, well,
Well, sorry.
I totally thought you gave up that baby. But make sure you're at the reading of the will.
It is noted that Mother has doll-like features.
Yeah. Dresden... Oh, no, no.
Nope, she's a doll. She puts on a fancy gown. Again, noted it is pleated because every skirt is pleated.
It's pleats. Is it?
No pencil skirts, no peasant skirts.
It's 1954.
No. Yeah.
The funeral is a fucking gala affair. Like, Laura Sue is living for planning this funeral. She's like, people are going to come from far and wide. It's going to be the talk of the town. Nah.
Yeah, it's a funeral.
She was so excited to plan it. I mean, I probably wouldn't have been true.
The lawyer rolls up during, like, the funeral party reception and just unceremoniously is like, here you go.
Yeah, here's the address to the people. Like, ooh, everyone was under the wrong impression.
Shame on me. Shame on me. I was like, how unceremonious. What a non-event.
Maybe you should tune in next time.
I expected something like a little bit more like a Tyra Banks. Like, I have one card here with the address on it where your baby is. Now, when I turn the card over, etc. So they go to read the will.
I love it.
And the lawyer's like, I have to read a letter from old Mr. Cutler.
William.
And Laura Sue is like very fucking nervous about this.
She's like, I gotta go. And she just like runs out of the room. She's like, no, we don't have to do this. And he's like, no, this is like, like I have to, this is how this works. And she's like, my allergies, and like runs the fuck out. She's done. Pieces the
Mr.
fuck
Cutler.
out. Even before it's even opened. And Clarice is pissed.
So tell us about the letter. Giggles.
So it's William Cutler, grandmother Cutler's husband, Randolph Cutler's father. And he's like, hey, I asked for this to be read after I died, because I don't want after my wife dies, so that she doesn't have any fucking shame. I totally fathered my son's second child. And you know what? And you know what? I'm leaving her 60% of my holdings in the hotel. And Clara Sue flips the fuck out. She's like, no. It was great. She was so pissed.
She was so pissed. It was
so pissed. So pissed. And Dawn's just like, and then they're reading other stuff.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and then she was like, does this still concern me or what? I gotta go fucking find my baby. But before she leaves, she just goes up and tears Laura Sue a new one. She's just like, no. She's just like, how fucking, you knew all this time. And this is where we get to fucking father 4 for Dawn. This is her 4th dad she found out about. This is unprecedented so far in these books. There's never even been a 3rd dad, let alone a 4th dad.
Yeah.
Why so many dads?
So if and then Lillian Cutler shares go to Randolph. So Dawn is majority. She owns 60%, and Randolph owns 40.
40, yeah.
FYI, if you're mathing, like I was trying to math.
So like she's like she's the owner of the hotel. She's got all the power.
She owned this shit. That's the last one I wrote.
Yeah, she screams at Laura Sue, and then they just hop in Jimmy's truck to go find Christy. Tristy.
Why does Miss Emily sleep with the light on? Statement, no follow-up.
Because she's scared of the devil coming again. I don't fucking know. Just to be like, oh, nice for us reading, being like, I'm making her worse.
I feel like I have theorems.
Oh, what's your theorem?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there's a whole lot of, like, rapey, molestery incest going on with the Cutler Lillian side. Like, if Luther hadn't been the father of Charlotte's child, why did that kid die? What did Miss Emily do to there? Like,
did the baby die though? I have like a theory that maybe Randolph is Charlotte's baby and not...
Why?
I don't know. Because he's kind of doofy. He gets doofy. Because, like, he's not...
He's not there. If I
Yeah,
can
like,
say that.
he doesn't... They say he's pretty useless, and he's not, like...
You're going back to nature nurture.
Yeah, he's not a sharp...
Fella.
He's not a sharp fella. And also, like, just some comments Miss Emily made about just, like, oh, she never comes back here to visit. Like, she's leaving me with her problems again.
See? Now, don't you want to read the prequel?
I hate Grandmother Cutler.
I know.
She's fucking horrible.
She's the villain.
Like, I did feel some moments in Flowers in the Attic where, like, I kind of feel like maybe, like, that grandmother felt a little conflicted about shit every once in a while.
I never felt that.
She gave him real flowers to put in the attic. I don't know. It just, like, wasn't this fucking horrible. It wasn't this horrible. Well, I guess she kept him locked up. Yeah, I don't fucking...
agree to disagree.
I just, maybe it's because she was in so many... She was in 2 books. Maybe that's why.
All right.
Yeah, you know, like, the Grandmother and Flowers in the Attic was, like, really only part of the first book, and then the second one, she was just, like an invalid on the bed. So I guess there wasn't, like, enough meddling going on. We really got a lot of shit to hate about Mother Cutler.
We do.
I'm just wondering what happened to this baby, because I feel like when they're talking about things not being done yet, and there's still some mysteries, you know, like...
What about things?
There's 2 more books before the prequel. I mean, yeah, the one that we're reading, the one after.
Let me tell you. One of the books I had when I was a younger person was Midnight Whispers, the one from Chrissy's point of view, with no context.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun for me to reread.
Yeah.
And so I know something that happens.
Okay. I do not.
I do.
Cool. Ooh. Dear listener, you're going to find out when I find out. She's making a face.
All the lips pulled back.
Horrible smell the fart face right now.
I did fart.
Oh.
Okay.
Appropriate. Nailed it. Damn it. I hate saying that so much lately.
Okay. Well, you want to do a thing?
Yeah, I like...
The thing's here?
We're gonna do the book club thing again because it's in front of me. I'm sitting different than I normally do.
You're not in your...
I'm not in the Papazon nest. I'm on a chair that it came from. I don't even know where it came from.
Okay,
But,
pull it out. Pull out.
Oh, I'll pull it out.
The question you got that Oprah wants us to know. You want a new question?
No. If you had to trade places with one character, who would it be? Fucking Trisha.
Trisha?
Yeah, easy.
She rules.
Trisha rules. She's very self-assured. She's independent. She's a really good friend. She's got a great head on her shoulders for a young lady. Very wise. She's solid.
We just went over this. Are there lingering questions from this book you're still thinking about? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got that one last time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The end.
Yep.
Like a character in a V.C. Andrews book, the questions linger.
Like a character in a V.C. Andrews book, here we are with many details, and then...
No follow through.
Goodbye. Thanks for listening to VC's Pieces podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
Technical support is provided by Boo and Matt. Thanks for answering all of my stupid questions.
Music used is Dust in the Attic by Broken MC under a Creative Commons license.
Email us at vcspiecespodcast@gmail.com with your thoughts and comments.
You can also follow us on Instagram. We are at VC's Pieces podcast.
New episodes are released every other Friday to give you time to